Yeah,
All right, welcome in everybody. It is Tuesday night. Daniel has the night off, but we're going to keep on moving. And it's a special one because here we are in season 10, only the second episode for hockey. It's one of those things that we just don't do enough. We're not networked enough, we're not connected, but the Tennessee fan base is arguably our top fan base. So if we're going to do hockey, why wouldn't we do Tennessee? So with that, Myles, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm awesome. Like I said, we don't get to talk this sport enough. I hate that Daniel's not here, but it's all good. We're going to keep on moving. Before we get to your story, though, man, we got to break the ice with a few questions. Let's start. March Madness just ended, man. Did you fill out a bracket? And if so, how'd you do?
I did. I had NC State going to the final and winning it. It was kind of a wild card bracket. Kind of no one had it. So I was praying. Once they made their Cinderella run, I was praying and I thought I had something going and I did. And then till last weekend and then they lost obviously, but I was
Still got you a
proud.
lot of points, though, just by making it to
Exactly.
the Final Four. You probably outside of NC State fans, you're probably one of the few, no doubt.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
also, man, not just the national championship was yesterday, but the eclipse. We talked to our guest yesterday. He said he checked it out, man. What about you? Did you go out there and look at it?
I tried and then I'm in Knoxville and it was cloudy yesterday, rainy. So it blocked the whole eclipse for me.
Man, I actually thought about that when I seen the stuff on the news of folks were like driving hours, and I was like, man, what if you drove hours to go see it and then the clouds blocked it? I mean,
Hmm.
I watched it with my family, but I ain't driving nowhere to do it. If it ain't outside where I can
Yeah.
just check it out, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into music real quick, man. If you can go see any musician anywhere, who are you going to see? Where are you going to see them?
I'm a Drake fan, like most people are, so I'm going to see Drake if I have the choice. And I would probably go back to Tampa to see him in Amalie Arena or Atlanta. I bet Atlanta would be pretty cool to see him. He bring out all the Atlanta rappers with them. So either Tampa or Atlanta would be a good choice for me.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And so, sticking with the same theme, talking about going somewhere, seeing someone athletically, if you can go see any player or team, that's currently playing right now, who are you going to see and where are you going to see them?
Um, I would say LeBron. I would love to see LeBron in person. And I would love to see him in Miami or probably LA, the crypto arena. I bet that would be sick. I know crypto's nice, and I know Miami's arena is nice. So I would love to see LeBron either of those places.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. So we started this show based on The Last Dance during the pandemic, and we were talking about Michael Jordan. For all three of us hosts, Michael's everything. And living in Memphis, I actually get to see LeBron every time he comes to town to play the Grizzlies. And for me, it's not as big a deal. I've seen him, and he's not the generational best for me like he is for you guys. And so it
Mhm.
doesn't do as much for me. It's one of those things I never got to see Jordan. I wish I could do it, but I say that to say I can relate to why you would say LeBron, and maybe it's one of those things I take for granted. But my favorite player that I've ever seen when it came to basketball, the performance I've seen Russell Westbrook during his MVP season, he came in against Memphis. He
Yeah.
put up 49, 12, and 9. He was actually the game he tried to originally set his triple double record on, but he fell one rebound short. But it's all good because he scored the last 15 points of the game for both teams, and he was 9 for 11 from three. And he's not a good 3-point shooter, so he was on that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely did go on and watching some NBA basketball. I'm blessed to be in the Memphis area. I know you're not too far from Orlando. You ever went to Magic game?
I- I've never been to a Magic game. I've been to one Miami Heat game, and that's the only basketball I've seen in person,
What
which is
about let's
crazy.
talk about hockey,
Crazy to
man.
say, but
Let's talk about hockey. Being obviously, I haven't asked you where you're from yet, and we're going to get into that. But obviously, you're from the Tampa area. Talk about going and seeing the Lightning because I told you my main host is from there, and he told me even though I don't go to much hockey, he was like a bucket list item is the Tampa Bay Lightning in the postseason. He
mhm.
said he's been NFL, MLB, everything. He said it's unrivaled.
Yeah. No, it's electric, and especially postseason, but regular season too. Like I would say the Lightning are bigger than the Bucks and the Rays in our city. And when you're just driving around, you'll see more Lightning stickers, flags on cars, and you would see Bucks and Rays stickers and flags. Like after the past few years, they've been just going on runs to Stanley Cup. Obviously, they won two in the past. I would say I think it was like 5 years.
Mhm.
But ever since I was born, they've been just like shooting up their organization, and their community outreach is a huge thing. Like it was huge for me personally. It got me into hockey and helped my development. So yeah, I would say the Lightning and the arena and the games are just unmatched, especially in Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Tommy White from LSU, he's down there from down there. You won't catch him anywhere around Baton Rouge not wearing Tampa Bay Lightning gear when he's not there. He came on his episode and him and Daniel was just going back and forth about Tampa. And so even though you'll see him at
Yeah,
LSU, he's always rocking Lightning gear. And it really
yeah,
just shows the influence has on you guys because y'all move off, but man, just still die hard.
yeah, it's huge.
All right. So I said, where are you from? We obviously Tampa area. Where specifically in the Tampa area are you from?
I'm from New Tampa, so about 30, 40 minutes outside of downtown. It's north, just a little suburbs.
I got you. And so
Yeah.
as far as family, man, what are we talking about? You got brothers, sisters, mom, dad in the house. What are we growing up with?
Uh, mom, dad, and then an older brother, and then a younger sister. And my dad went to Tennessee, played ball, and my mom went to USF and became a teacher. And my brother played football at a community college in Florida. And then my sister's just growing up now. She's in high school. She's running track.
So with an older brother, I want to start there. We talk to so many athletes on here and they say their older sibling was who drove them to be better athletically because they were always trying to catch up, trying to be like them. Was that the case in your house?
For me, it was personally my mom because she would just drive me to all my early morning practices, early morning skates, and she would try to push me to want to do better and want to be better. And it was whether it was 6 a.m. or 11 p.m., she would just take me there or just make sure I get there and make sure I'm committed to my team and my sport. And she would always just make sure I'm committed and just want to do hockey. And she would, if I didn't want to do hockey, she was fine with that. And she would always ask me, if you don't want to play anymore, we can stop. But I was like, I want to play. I still want to play. I love the sport. And she would just drive me um, emotionally, physically um, to pursue my goal.
So let me ask you, with mom being that person for you, you talk about having a younger sister who's in high school now in the track. Is she giving her that same thing, helping bring her up the same way?
Absolutely, yeah. And she's very open with my sister because probably she came up as a dancer, so she wants to make sure she wants to do track or does she want to do dance or is she doing what she wants to do? And if she doesn't, she's willing and she's loving and supporting and whatever we want to do.
So safe to say, based upon this conversation, you obviously talk about your dad and your brother and your sister and obviously your mom's influence. Clearly an athletic family. It's got to be fun, when y'all get around for family occasions. I'm sure it gets pretty competitive. Those, and all in fun, of course, but it seems like it'd probably be good times with y'all. But, growing up, who would you say outside of your mom, whether maybe it was an athlete that inspired you, maybe it was a coach, who would you say was your biggest influence outside your mom?
Um, I would say my dad because he played at the college level and even though he didn't make it to the pros, he went to business and taught me like there's a life outside of athletics. And if I didn't want to do athletics or I didn't make it to the pro level athletics, there's always something beyond that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
absolutely.
I was, yeah.
So let's talk. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Jesuit high school, powerhouse,
Absolutely. That's I mean, well,
powerhouse.
I had to try to Daniel didn't answer me in time before this episode started. We've had at least two or three guests from there,
Yeah,
and it's because the
powerhouse.
conversation with the alumni that y'all got, like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're just talking about athletes, you're talking about musicians, politicians, whatever. Like y'all are
Yeah.
freaking it out. Like, is there like when you walk in, Is there like a whole bunch of trophy cases or shrines
Yeah,
or whatever to people?
we got everything: baseball, football, business guys, priests who are in high level church, high level business guys, high level musicians. Just I was blessed to go there, and I was blessed for my family to be afford that,
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
it was just a great brotherhood, and something that will definitely help me out in the road beyond this or beyond college. And yeah, I was blessed to go there.
So talk to me, I see that you play hockey there, not just in a club, but you actually play for the school. In Tennessee, where I live on the west side, we don't have hockey. So, how many schools actually have it? How competitive is the actual high school hockey league?
In high school in Florida, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's getting there. It's not really competitive. That's why I had to play high school and club hockey down there in Florida. But the club hockey's advanced, but the high school hockey in Tampa is it's not too good. But I still love playing for my school and represent my school. I was a captain down there for my school, and it's a good time on Friday nights. Just go out with your school boys and play hockey, and sometimes you get fans from your school, and it's still growing for sure. It's in the early stages of. It's not really Minnesota or New York or what you would think of a high school hockey environment, but it's still going like the hockey is in Florida.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, I see the USPHL elite, and you talk about Florida as a whole. When you played, travel hockey, when we say travel, were you going all around the country to play?
Oh yeah, for sure. I played overseas one for 2 summers, and I've been to, let me see, Minnesota, Michigan, Texas, up in the Northeast. I've been all everywhere on the east side of the United States
Nice,
and
man.
beyond.
So you've already got a little taste of what a professional hockey player is like. Obviously, not the payment system, but just traveling, being on the road, getting
Yeah,
the idea of what it's like.
yeah. And
All right.
last year, or my last senior year, for senior year, I played juniors, which is kind of a different. It's in between college and high school,
Mhm.
and I got to travel through bus everywhere, up and down Florida, throughout the Northeast, just playing back-to-back games and hotels and all that. So I got a taste of what would come in college, and that was so much fun. And just the road trips that I got was just awesome.
So when it comes to Tennessee, you talk about your dad. Was it something that you always wanted to do and you were gonna do, or how did that whole process go from you going, from down there in Tampa up to University of Tennessee?
The goal was always to go NCAA like Michigan or Minnesota, all that. But when I saw that wasn't going to be obtainable, I looked into all the club teams that would be cool for me, and I saw like Tennessee had a club team, and obviously my dad went there, and I wasn't sold on Tennessee till like my senior year. Like I wasn't pushed by my dad or anything. I was applying to a bunch of different colleges, a bunch of different hockey programs, and when it came down to it, I love Tennessee and I love their jerseys, and they had a nice rink up here that the club team played at. So it was just I just got in Tennessee and I was like, I'll just send it and go here.
So you talk about the NCAA, you talk about, the Minnesotas of the world. What is the difference overall? Because I mean, I see that, you're still competing for SEC championships and I mean, you're still playing full-blown hockey. So is it just simply you're not playing for an NCAA championship?
Yeah, that too. And there's a big skill difference. Like those NCAA guys go to the NHL level, and really no club guys go to the club or go to the NHL level. So it's the NCAA D1, D3, and then it starts the club level D1, D2, D3. So it is a step down competition wise and skill level wise, but it's still obviously, like you said, competitive, and we still travel. And it's the club hockey realm is still growing for sure.
Yeah.
Huge.
So you say you don't go to the NHL, but how many guys go from, let's start with, do they go from club hockey to the Division 1 ranks? Do you ever have guys that make that jump?
Yeah, it's very rare. It's probably like three in the past 10 years I've done that.
Hey, but there's
So
that
it's very,
that means for anybody who goes that route, there's always a chance. I mean, we learn that all the time in sports, thinking just Tennessee, lately we were talking about it on last night's episode. You look at Trey Lipscomb from baseball. We've had him on the show 4 times. He couldn't touch the field the first 3 years. He didn't know what was going to happen for him. Play senior year, should have been the SEC player of the year, and then, he's already been called up to the show. So you never know, man. As long as you keep
yeah,
grinding, keep working hard, you never know what can happen. But let's
yeah.
talk about Tennessee as a whole for a second. You get there. One of my favorite things to talk about with every athlete that goes to Tennessee is being able to go watch all the other athletes. I mean, Tennessee is one of the few schools that you can literally say is an everything school. Like, it doesn't matter what the sport is, you can go check it out. So with that, do you go check out all the sports, and what are your favorite ones?
Obviously, football on Saturdays is it's something different every Saturday. It's one of the crazy experiences I've ever had. And yeah, I go football. Basketball games were definitely electric this year. We had a great season. And I try to pop out to some games because I know some baseball guys, and those are always a vibe. And I love the Lay Vols. I try to support them sometimes when I have time to go to their games. But as far as athletics, like I meet a lot of NCAA Tennessee guys, and they're always supportive of me, and they always respect me as far as club hockey, and they're always all cool, and just it's always one family.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky Top, like I said, it's just built different. I mean, the it's its own culture, and it's why people want to go there. So definitely awesome that you get to be a part of that environment. So on the ice, talk to me positionally. Where are you playing for Tennessee?
I started the year as defense. Last year I was defense too, but I switched to forward halfway through the year, and I'm just a utility guy. Like I can play forward when they need me. I can play defense if we're missing guys there. So I'm the only guy on the team. I play forward and defense.
Gotcha. All right. So I talked about, SEC, I was keeping track, following what you guys were doing. Obviously fell short against South Carolina, but then finished strong against Georgia, got the third place. Talk to me, for the season. How do you guys feel about, what y'all were able to accomplish?
We were super psyched about what happened this year. We really grew from last year. Last year, we kind of had a mid-year as far as the national tournament and our season. But this year, we won our conference, which is the CHS, and we had nationals coming up, and we did really, really well in that. We got semifinals, and we lost by one goal in the semifinals, which was tough for our guys. But and then we had the SEC tournament after the national tournament, which is weird, but it's just how it worked. And we should have won our SEC game to move on to the finals, but it was a bad call. We feel like by the refs in a shootout, so we lost by one goal there, and that ended our season. So two tough one goal games to end both of our major tournaments.
Yeah, nothing worse than trust me. I used to have a blow the whistle segment because I always want to light into messed up calls that inflict the game.
Yeah,
There's always people who say refs can't dictate the outcome of a game with one call. I don't believe in that at
yeah.
all.
Sometimes it's not true, but it's whatever. We had a great season record wise. We improved from last year, and the year after before that, and we're just super proud of what we did this year, and we're looking to build on that next year.
Yeah, and so that was going to be my next question. What does it look like right now? Obviously you're at the facility now. Are y'all still practicing? Y'all on break? What are y'all doing to prepare for next season?
Right now, it's just a big time off. We had a long season it started in August and ended like about 3 weeks ago. So we're just all recovering. We got recruiting weekend this weekend. So some of our older guys help recruit some of the incoming freshmen that want to try to come here and play for us this weekend. And then as far as off season, we all just chill out. And when we go back home for summer, some of us skate and do our summer leagues, and then get ready for August when the season and tryouts and all that stuff starts back up again next year.
So you say summer leagues, it's kind of like the baseball players do when they like go to the Cape or to the Pacific League. You have an opportunity to go play in the summer somewhere else. They don't Tennessee doesn't care if you go out and play.
Yeah, no, some guys just like me. I play in a local summer league in Tampa with like D1 guys, club guys, guys from who are about to go to college, just different guys who come together in their respective areas and just go play casually or competitively. And I'm sure a bunch of other guys on my team are going to do that where they live. So that's yeah.
Yeah, gotta keep going, man. Can't stay dormant for too long. It's one of those things. If you keep working all year long, I am curious. What is the weightlifting, and cardio like for program for when you do hockey? Like I said, we don't do hockey all that much, but do y'all put a lot of time in the weight room? And as far as cardio, like, is it just skating, or do you actually run to prepare for skating?
As far as our team, some of our guys do we don't have team workouts, but most of our guys are in the gym every day, every other day, doing weightlifting or doing cardio, whatever they do personally. But as a team, we don't have workouts. But as far as skating as a general, yeah, you definitely do cardio for to help with hockey skating and a lot of stride work, left, right, a lot of weightlifting, and a lot of squats to get your hockey stride up and more powerful.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the amount of energy y'all exert, I know y'all got to be in tremendous shape. I always think about, the movie Miracle, which even as a not being a big hockey guy, that's in my top like three sports movies. Like, and that scene where he's got them going line to line repeatedly, just again blowing the whistle. I'm like, man, because I think back to football and having to run sprints, but it just seems so much harder to skate than it does run. And so I could only imagine.
Yeah, stopping in hockey is just takes a lot of effort, and it's way different than stopping and when you're running. But yeah, it's we do that too when we had a bad weekend against the team. We get skated, of course. And yeah, it takes a lot of effort on the ice to be fast and stops and starts and edges and all that stuff that goes into skating.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, well, with that, man, we're gonna play a game called This or That we play with every guest. You down to play?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, this or that is brought to you tonight by the Athletic Collection. And at the Athletic Collection, you can get all the Tennessee gear you want if you're a Tennessee fan. You can get the posters. You see the QB1 Drew Beam poster on me. You can also find your in off the bench Tennessee merch, So go check out the Athletic Collection, support these athletes through NIL. But with that, let's start with the first question. Would you rather grill out, with the boys, or would you rather go out to eat?
Um, I would love to go out to eat with the boys, have some food out, see some sports on the TVs in the restaurants. Yeah, go
All
out.
right. What's more important, a nice house or a nice car?
Um, I would say a nice house because you gotta have somewhere nice to park whatever car you're driving.
Hey man, I came from an area in Memphis where you see a lot of cars that didn't match the house because they was
Yeah,
expensive cars.
that's funny.
All right. Would you rather trip and fall in public or pass gas in public?
Pass gas because you can kind of hide it, or
Exactly.
you can run away.
All right. This might be the toughest question, even though it's not the last question. The Summit blue jerseys or the black jerseys?
Ooh, I gotta go Summit. I gotta go Summit because it just matches.
I mean,
Like it matches our women's. It connects to our women's programs, and
but see, the
that
women
blue
don't
is
have.
something
We asked the
different.
softball players that, and they always say Summit, but they don't have a black to go. They only
Yeah,
got the smoky gray to compete with. The black goes so the orange, the way it pops on it, it's just it
yeah,
hits.
true. Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
All right, what do you prefer? And I don't get offended if you say the one answer: sports radio or sports podcast.
Um, I would say podcasts just because I've listened to more podcasts. I would say when I'm a kid riding my dad's car, my mom's car, I would say radio, but now that I'm older, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, it's about being able to pick specific topics because, right, the radio, you got to listen to whatever they're talking to.
Mhm.
All right. Who's better, the Justice League or the Avengers?
Um, I would say the Avengers are better, but the Justice League would win in a fight if they both fight.
Why? Because of Batman?
Because of Superman, the Avengers don't have guys who can compete with that.
I hear you. I said that because we actually reframed that question from the previous season. These are all new questions in this season, but I brought that one back, but with that because it was Batman versus Superman, and everybody just loves Batman. And so I was like, all right, man, I got to flip it. And so I figured I'd bring the Avengers into it.
Yeah.
All right. If I don't know if you have a girl, but if you have a girl, if you don't, what's better though? Bowling with the girl or golf with the guys?
Golf with the guys for sure. Golf with the guys because you don't have to impress. You don't have to impress anyone. You can
That's
just, if you have a
true.
bad day on the course, like you get chirped by the guys, but that's all that comes for it. You don't have to worry about impressing the girl,
I'm
all that
I'm
stuff.
going bowling because I actually can bowl good. I can't golf worth crap. So,
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
all right. I don't know if you've seen both of them, but we've had a lot. We've had two guests on both recently. Well, we got one still on there right now. And so with that, would you rather play on the reality show Survivor or Big Brother?
Mm, Big Brother. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could survive on Survivor. I don't know if I can complete those challenges. So I would say Big Brother.
I don't think I can do either of them. See, I'm not made for the Survivor part, but I'm also not made in Big Brother where they just lie to you constantly. Like,
Yeah.
I man, mentally, like I think I would get exhausted. I'd try to fight somebody. Like I'm just keeping it real, like because
Yeah.
everybody just lying to your face. Oh, but
Yeah.
as far as the island, I don't. First of all, I don't even eat fish, so that becomes a problem within itself. And then, man, I don't really do giant spider, all them things you sent. Like, man, I don't. No,
Yeah. No. No. I'm good. I'm
but
good.
if you're happening to watch the current season, Quintavious Burdett, the Ole Miss football player, he's not only just a guest of our show, he's actually my realtor. He's the number one realty agent in the country. But he's on there, he's doing his thing, and so it's pretty cool for us. Like I said, we've had a guest on both, and we're able to watch. So it's unique, man. We're used to watching these athletes on the field, and now like we're watching them in this game, seeing them on a personal
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Maybe an easy question for you, but if you could have $10 million cash or win an NCAA hockey championship, which would you rather have?
Um, I would say 10 million cash because I would love to own a team in a hockey team in the future, and I would love to GM a championship winning college program or pro program. So I would go 10 million cash so I could start my ventures and being a general manager and win one that way as a GM.
Nice. No one who's answered money before has actually said what they would do with the money. So I like it. You already knew it wasn't just to be rich. You already knew what you
Yeah,
wanted to
no,
do with it.
no, no, no.
That's your dad in you right there because you said once he found out he wasn't going to go professional, had to go the business route. So you already got that
Yeah,
business mindset.
yeah.
All right. Well, you are off the hot seat, Miles. Before we let you go, is there anything you want to plug or promote? Whether it's hockey, Tennessee, personal, any nonprofit, anything.
Um, no, just follow the Tennessee Instagram, Tennessee Hockey. And if you can support our program and what we're trying to do and expand the hockey SEC wise and at the University of Tennessee. And
Yeah,
that's all. That's all
absolutely.
I want to plug.
Yeah, no, and if you want to follow him, Miles_Jackson.81, and like he said, Tennessee hockey. They actually got me with the April Fools, man. I sent it to my host and I was like, dude, check it. They're gonna be in Thompson Bowling Arena. And he was like, that's not real. And I was like, damn,
Yeah,
yeah, God. I was like,
yeah,
I was
that'd be
thinking y'all were doing
crazy.
big things.
That would be crazy in the future, and maybe like 20 years, we might be able to get that going.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, well, that's Myles Jackson, everybody. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, hugs, love, rating, feedback, all that good stuff is welcome. We'll see everyone back tomorrow night. Daniel will be back, and we're going to be talking to the number one high school prospect in the country in baseball, Connor Griffin from Jackson Prep. But in the meantime, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.